that on? Yep. Okay. Welcome back to my life with plants. I'm Newman. It's a bit of a windy day. I don't know if you can see me or not in the screen. I tried to put on that fuzzy bit on the end of my mic, but I gave up. I just couldn't get my fingers in there. Oh, gosh. All right. Updates. These are the Cattleyas. And I'm pretty sure this is a Walkeriana. But look at how those roots are going into that pumice there. That's all it's grown in, is in this pumice, and it's got this net so the pumice doesn't fall out. But got a new growth coming away there. There was a stage there in the winter time where I was watering it indoors, and it decided to abort the growth on the tips of the roots here, but it started to grow again. So that's doing pretty good. All it's growing in is this basket. Actually, you can see a root peeking out the back there. Pretty sure that's a Walkeriana. Yeah, I can't help but notice the fragrance on this dendrobium kingianum. It is so fragrant, it's coming through the house. I wonder what it was. Wow, what fragrance. It's growing in sphagnum moss and terracotta. Not in flower, which is a disappointment. But let me have a little look inside. I don't have my glasses on, that's why I'm making all these funny faces like this. Look. That's what you do when you can't see, right? Can't see. But this thing is healthy enough to flower. It's Dendrobium speciosum ex gracila call. It was out here for the whole winter, got wrapped with bear lap. It's got nice healthy roots growing. Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to get in here. But I will somehow. Wait a minute. Just give me a second. Just got to move over this big what do you Boringiana again, so that we can get this out, because I've got to show you and show me. I want to see. Hopefully I didn't break anything on the way out. All right, so this Cattleya, this mini Cattleya, is in flower again. So all those new canes are starting to come into bud, and these flowers are opening up. Slight fragrance. This one's just starting to open, and I've lost it. There it is over there. So we got a bit of a wind coming through here. This is another bud, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to flower a whole lot more. There's actually a lot of active new growth on this. I'm not going to repot it. No, I'm not going to disturb it. When it starts to crawl out of the pot, I only cut that part, and I will mount it. This one's still in a pot, but believe me, it is very, very free draining. Super free draining. It's just about all. It's mainly pumice. Sorry about taking so long to do stuff, but I have a very, very small area for my plants. Very, very small area. That's all I have. Okay, now Boringiana can move back over. There you go, Boringiana. Move back to your position. I want to enjoy these blooms, so come on, blooms. Reveal yourself so I can enjoy it. And move your speciosum guy back there. All right, the next ones, we have to dismount the camera because we can't bring him down, not in this wind. But up here is dendrobium sweet candy. And it's starting to open up now. So sweet candy is a very fragrant nobile hybrid. And this one has beautiful fragrance, did I already say that? And it's hardy. Also next to it is Cattleya. What? I'm reading the wrong side of the label here. Hime, dendrobium Hime, nobile type, and it's just trying to open now. Next to that is a kingianum that could be in spike. A little growing point there. Could be the beginning of a flower spike, hopefully. And that one is hardy in the cold too. It's good. Something quite amazing is this one here has lost all its leaves, but it will not give up the fight. Can you see all that? There's actually 3 new growths coming away on it. So this is what you can expect if you mount your Cattleyas. I mean, what sounds negative, doesn't it? I mean, this thing wasn't much to begin with, right? But it's practically growing on nothing, and it's getting all of this active new growth, so it's still alive. Hopefully it'll recover. I'll give it time. We got some new growing points in this kingianum here. Goody. Let's try to bend down without sticking my bum on a cactus. And this is another cutting that I bought as a cutting, same as this one here. And it's mounted and the roots are starting to grow on. This is like a little update here. We have the beginnings of a new cane, which is good. It gets watered every morning. Check out the roots on this Cattleya. Look at that. All these lovely new roots coming out. Rincolelio Cattleya Young Kong. And at the back there is one that's cross with a Laelia Cattleya Blue Heaven. Now, that one has to give me a flower. Otherwise, it's just a green plant. And this one has gone over, but it's a Cattleya that was gifted to me that I didn't get to show you. And it has reasonably big bulbs, Very healthy plant, and it's in the sphagnum moss, and you can see the clip over there. I made that with the stakes that you use for orchid flowers. And it's holding it down firm. All right, it's a new growth on this Vanda here. Haven't seen any flower spikes yet. Although if I come over to this side, you can see the beginnings of flowers on this one here, which is crossed with Vanda falcata. What a long name. Here it is. Vandalion star crossed with falcata sagaric gold. There's not much information when you look it up, although you could probably find more than me. But it definitely has a lot of nice new growth coming away there. You can see there those roots. Yep. That hangs out here in bright light. All right, let's put this back on the mount. I thought I would just show you that while I got the time, because sometimes we don't have the time and we can't show stuff. And yeah, I mean, look at that. This is how I want to grow my Cattleyas now. Just want to grow them in pumice in a basket, because I can water them freely and they won't rot. I won't get all those issues anymore. Whereas having them in a pot, you can be doing fine, and the next minute you've just so happened to not overwater it, but water it too frequently, and it's still wet, and then it dies on you from rot. When I was watching Dave's Orchids, he had a Cattleya that, when I was watching Dave's Orchids, he had a Cattleya that was massive. And he said that he watered it the same as the others, except that the root ball was so large, and the pot was so large that the core of the Cattleya stayed pretty wet, and it rotted from the middle. And then in his video, he actually chopped the bottom half of the root system off, and he just stuck it on a mount, and it totally recovered from it. So it must have been a pretty hardy orchid variety to begin with. And it's just something to think about if you're going to have your Cattleyas or any orchids, and they grow pretty fast. You probably want to have them on a mount, and then you can avoid all of those problems with the rot. So I have got some still in pots. I'm just wondering, when I put my plants back, that I haven't broken something. It's always like on the back of my mind when you put away a plant and then you hear that snap sound and you think, did I do that? But look at this area, such a tiny little area. Very small. Can you actually see up there? Look up there. Those are my finger keeps getting in the way. I treat these just kind of similar to the orchids. Cactus coladamonensis. You got two of them. One's in a neat skull pot there. and they're in this wire basket so that they can't fall. We get some pretty heavy winds. I can't just hang the pot up on its loop there because the problem is that I have to take it inside every winter because it just gets a little bit too cold for it, and then I have to unscrew it, and if it's overgrown I won't be able to get a screwdriver anywhere near it to get it off. So I decided to mount this to the wall and have them sitting in there. So they're gonna like come down, form a nice curtain of cactus. Yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting, looking at some of my orchids. And I have a very small collection, and the main part of my collection is in the garden hanging up. But we're going to do updates on those as they flower and they start to come into growth, and I'll talk more about them because this year is going to be special. I've put all of the orchids in much better places. I've chosen some much more desirable places for them because I've learned how much temperature they like or humidity. And so hopefully this year there's going to be more growth and happier orchids. And if they do, I'm going to talk about it, let you know. Yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.